Hello, Nicola.
Hello, nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and I think a lot of people are curious about your school, and this is why we made today this trip to your school to share a little bit more than what we can find online. And we're quite happy to be here. So
delighted to have you on a slightly snowy, cloudy day, but still with a beautiful view.
Typical Tuesday, I would say,
Absolutely.
Right? Great. So let me start with the first question. Everybody can find some information about Surval on the internet, but we know it's the only girls' school in Switzerland, so it really makes it unique. But who are the people working in this school? And maybe we can first start with you. You can tell us about your background and what brought you here to Montreux.
Absolutely. So yes, we are an all-girls international school, and our staff are therefore also international, and I myself have come from overseas. So my educational background, I was brought up in the UK, went to an all-girls boarding school in the UK, so I've come back full circle to Surval, being in an all-girls boarding school. Went to university at Oxford, studied French and German, so again
Amazing.
I've come full circle to a country where I get to use all my languages.
Exactly.
And then, having spent the first part of my career in independent schools in the UK, very much in the UK system, I then went overseas and worked internationally, and have worked in Hong Kong before moving to Switzerland, where I moved 3 years ago to here and joined Surval, the beautiful Surval Montreux. Our teachers are from a range of different backgrounds, all with prior teaching experience in terms of the teaching staff. Some are from here, Switzerland, France, where they are our French teachers, but teachers from much further afield as well, in the UK, US, and so on. Many who have done other overseas positions as well. I think we very much start with the individual, and it's about achieving the very best for each individual. Whatever their strengths, their ambitions, their skills are, we will seek to nurture that. So that's our starting point. And really take a very holistic approach. So the whole person, and that means balancing the academics. We want them to do as well as they can do academically, but also to really develop their wider skills and interests, and also to be very well supported pastorally. Anything is possible online nowadays. We're used to working online, and obviously as an international school with students only coming from outside Switzerland, really, a lot of our students don't have the opportunity to visit in advance of taking up their place. Where they are in Europe and able to drop in, absolutely we welcome that, because that's the best way to get the real feel of the school and to know what to expect. And if they're able to visit, we can give them a tour, they can stay for a couple of hours, they can meet current students. Indeed, we do have a number of girls that come to our summer camps first and use that as a taster, and it's a perfect opportunity to firstly have that very first experience overseas away from parents and kind of independence, and also just to get a feel of the school. And while summer camp does have a slightly different vibe from school year, it's about work and academics as much as it's about the wider experience, whereas summer camp, it's their holiday time, it's fun, it's adventure, and it's full on 7 days a week. School year is a little bit calmer. We have students aged 12 to 18 in school year, and the majority of students are here for the high school programme, so from grade 8 up to grade 12. Now, grade 8 is like a foundation programme. We call it the kind of launching into putting the foundations in place, ready for the start of the full high school programme in grade 9 to 12, which is, we follow the American high school programme. They follow American high school, which is a broad range of subjects that they carry through, credit-based, that they build up year on year, with the option of aiming for advanced placements in grades 11 and 12, which are very academically rigorous, challenging courses, but certainly make them competitive for university applications. We are an English-speaking school first, and everyone studies French as an additional language. So you will hear a lot of English and French around the school. All of their academic subjects are in English, obviously with the exception of French. Our girls are typically very busy, and the school day finishes at 3:40 in the afternoon, and then 4 till 5 we have a slot where there's a mix of different clubs and committees. So on a Monday, for example, we have what we call student voices, where every girl is involved in a committee where they are taking initiatives forward, and we have a charity voice, we have a etiquette and events voice who organise all the events in the school, we have a communications voice who help with things like the school newspaper or digital media, and then we have a sustainability group who look at the environment and sustainability initiatives. So it's all about them leading initiatives, making impact, having impact, leading change, and really stepping up to leadership opportunities. The girls have the option, every weekend we run an optional excursion, a day trip, an activity within Switzerland. We also run a busy programme of residential trips. So just this last weekend we had a group who were in Monaco on a French language immersion course. Last term we were busy with ski weekends, went skiing in Zermatt and Verviers and other locations, went to Paris for a weekend, they're off to London in a couple of weeks. So we keep them busy. We want them to make the most of life in Switzerland and life, everything that we've got on our doorstep with easy access.
Talking about trips,
yeah.
Didn't you went to Africa this year?
We did. So just 2 weeks ago, we returned from our service project, which was a new trip. We went to Tanzania and lived with a community for a week, a community called the Kindwitwi community, which was just 7 hours drive from Dar es Salaam. And a real, incredible experience for the girls. Something very different to any other trip that they'd done, something that they had to really prepare for and train for, raise money for. We did a lot of fundraising, and when we were there we worked with a charity, Better Lives, and they supported the work of the community, worked with the children, worked with the locals, and really had a big impact on the community, but themselves came back.
An impact on the girls. So.
Absolutely, came back.
Yeah.
I think with a shift in perspective, and it will definitely be an experience which stays with them for life. Ultimately, that's the ultimate goal, and everything we do is about trying to broaden their horizons, give them skills and attitudes for life and experiences, whilst also making sure they've got the academic credentials to go on to an ambitious pathway, whatever that looks like. And each girl at Surval, as I started by saying, is individual, and therefore each girl's pathway will be slightly different. But we run a full University and Careers guidance programme, which starts really in grade 10 and works through grade 10, 11, 12, so that by the time they get to grade 12 and they're putting in their university and college applications, they've put the thought into it that needs, they've planned for it, they've worked on their portfolio of skills and experiences. A real range, and often they will put in multiple different applications and then gradually narrow down. But we've, this year, for example, had a fantastic range of offers for the students who are graduating this term, with really strong offers in the UK, here in Switzerland, and in the US. So we've got girls going on to study international relations, psychology, business. So I suppose what we've been focusing on, and will continue to focus on, is we introduced, for example, a year ago the Surval Award, which is a way of really drawing together all their experiences and making sure that every girl is making the most of the really holistic experience that they get at Surval. And it includes languages and culture, it includes physical pursuits, it includes creative talent, it includes ambassadorship and service, and every girl here is encouraged to play their part in charity and service.
Thank you, Nicola. So we really understand that Surval has this family approach and takes care of your child like it's their own family. So I would like now to let my colleague Lanya ask you some questions, and thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Ms. Dudley. It's really nice to come to the school to have an interview with you.
Lovely to have you here.
Yeah, it's been working with you for so long time. This is the first time we have interview, and actually I have a lot of interesting questions to ask. As a girl boarding school located in Montreux, how are we going to organize, make use of all the resources and the weather to benefit the girls?
Yeah. We really feel that in Montreux we have the best of both worlds. We have immediate access to the town of Montreux, just a 5-10 minute drive down. We run minibuses up and down regularly so that girls do have that regular freedom and independence in town. And of course it's just a direct train ride from Montreux to Geneva, 3 hours to Milan, 4 hours to Paris. So we really are very well located for access to town and city. But equally well located for the enjoyment of the countryside and the beautiful environment around us. So we are up on the hillside. We have all the trails around us for running and hiking. We have the lake in the summer for our winter water activities, whether it be during the school year or particularly in summer camps. And then in the winter, of course, skiing is a big focus, and we are just 30 minutes drive to the closest ski resorts. Absolutely, service and ambassadorship is a core part of our Surval Award, one of the key strands, and we encourage every girl to get involved. So there are various different strands to that. We have our charity student voice, which is basically our charity committee, where the girls drive charity initiatives over the year and different fundraising events. And then we have a number of different local charities that we support. For example, Carton du Coeur, so the local food bank, where every week girls go down and support both with donations, but then in the organisation of the donations, and work using their French in the local community. And then we've also had a very successful partnership with Domaine Foyer, working with refugee children. French is a core part of everyone's programme. Everyone is expected to do French. The only exception is when they arrive, if they're needing to work on their English a little bit more and build confidence in English, we will potentially make an adjustment and allow them more time to focus on English before they move into French. But once they're in the French programme, it is one of their core high school subjects, so they have it almost every day. On top of that, they will hear a lot of French around the house, around the school. Some of our staff are only French speaking, so they have to use their French with them, and the staff love it when they try. And we aim for every girl to want to sit DELF, so the internationally recognised certificate. And we've got quite a number of girls at the moment who are working towards their DELF certification in May. And they've just been away on an immersion French course to support their preparations for that. On top of that, we will have immersion cultural experiences during the year, where the whole school will go off on a trip, and the whole trip will be in French. What I see from my observations and from my own experience, having been in an all-girls school, is that as in an all-girls environment, all the opportunities are there for the girls. There is no question that gets raised, is this for girls, is this for boys? They're not having to compete. That question does not come to mind. And therefore, it becomes a natural way of life just to go for opportunities. And that confidence becomes very embedded, so that when they do go into a mixed environment, they don't ask those questions, they just step forward. And so I do think it supports an embedded confidence. Our goal is to be as diverse as possible. We have a range of different nationalities. So this year we have students from China and Hong Kong, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Russia, Ukraine, Mexico. Each year it can change, a little bit in terms of the mix. But certainly the mindset of everyone that's here is international. They are coming to be in a very internationally driven community. The girl who graduated from grade 12 last year has stayed within Switzerland and is at university in Switzerland. The girl who's in grade 11 at the moment, as an example, is probably looking at the UK universities. So flexibility to adapt. But in each case, they came to us from other schools, and they really slotted into our environment and looked very at home very quickly. And I think that's where Surval does really well, because we are small in being able to be the right fit. I suppose if they have the opportunity to come, there's two options. Either they join something like the summer camp and get a taster experience from 2 weeks or so, and that I would say is the best idea. If they are able to visit, that's the second option, and we will organise a tour for them. They can come for a few hours. If they're able to stay for a day, we would integrate them into a class so they get the real experience of being in a grade level aligned with what they're looking at joining. They get to meet other girls, they get to meet the staff, have a tour, and hopefully that's enough to persuade them, because Surval is really a school that you have to experience. I think come and visit, speak to the girls, and often that will persuade them.
Okay. So thank you so much.